All right, guys, welcome back to the Real South Africa Travel and Tourism. And yes, we have an amazing couple that came with us and enjoyed themselves a lot. And they're going to tell you everything, their thoughts and everything that happened to them while they was here in South Africa. So all I can say is check it out. All right, guys, this is Mark Blanton. And of course, we have
Dr. B, aka Latasha Blanton.
from the Real South Africa Travel and Tourism. As you guys know, we're your best option when you want to travel to South Africa properly. So what we did was we like to bring these to you because we want other people to tell their story when they came to South Africa. What's another reason why we do it?
Another reason why we do it is just so that you guys don't always hear us talking about how awesome South Africa is, and also to give you some confirmations when it comes to the type of service that we provide to our clients. It's one thing for us to tell you what we're going to provide, but it's another thing when you hear from someone else that says we actually provided what it is we said we were going to do. So we meet expectations. There are a lot of times where we exceed expectations, but it's best if you hear them from the people that have experienced South Africa with the real South Africa.
Yeah, and we think it's important. I know a lot of people are like, I'm not really sure. And again, we understand because we were told a long time ago, don't go to Africa. Well, we did, and and we started to enjoy ourselves in Africa to the point to where obviously you know us, we are business people first and foremost. So our previous life, some people are like, oh, you guys left because you guys were running from something. There has to be some emergency scenario that we're running from something, and obviously that wasn't the case. We came here like 8 years ago to live, and then obviously 8 years before that we were tourists. And we wish we had things set up for us to do stuff. There was nothing available. I went to the travel agencies, and all they wanted to do was send me to what we like to call on the bush or safari the entire time, and that was virtually impossible for us to even, get to understand the South African people and the locations and so forth. So over the years, we just decided that, it's best that we had a formal situation set up here in South Africa. So when people want to come to SA, and especially for your first visit, it's crucial that your first visit is proper. And so that's what we do all the time. We want to make sure that that first visit is proper. So then from there, you can start, doing your journey and whatnot. So without further ado, if you have any questions, obviously you can put them in the comments, and then we will check them out and so forth. But I don't know how many people we have had here. We've had, well over 1,000, I would say, over the last 7 or 8 years, who's come on tour. And I think people are finding South Africa. How do you think they're finding?
I think they're finding South Africa. I don't want to use the word utopia, but definitely a place for them to find, respite, to find a place where they are comfortable. And I don't use that term comfortable lightly, because you can be comfortable in a lot of places, but when you're able to go somewhere and you're able to just relax and not have any worries and actually know what that feels like. South Africa offers that on so many levels. It offers that from the type of people that you meet to the type of food you enjoy. You hear us say these things all the time, but that's also the feedback that we get as well, that the food is relaxing, the people are relaxing, the environment, the hotel rooms, the accommodations, the staff members. So every touch point that you have, we make sure that those things lend to relaxation, comfort, luxury, and just the overall great experience, because you shouldn't come here to get the bare minimum.
Yeah, exactly. So without further ado, I hope they're ready. We got them backstage. They're ready to move forward. They came with us some time ago, so they're going to tell you guys their experience. And y'all gonna hear me say it right here. I hope they tell it the way that they saw it and whatnot. And of course they can ask us questions too. So it's kind of like more like a conversation versus just an interview. But here we are. There they are.
All right. How are you guys today? How are you guys?
Good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You guys can hear us okay, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Wonderful. So just before we get started, I want you guys to introduce yourself to the watchers and the listeners and just tell them where you're from and how you ended up coming to South Africa.
Okay. Well, I'm Jermaine Perkins. This is my wife, Dr. Sonja Perkins. We live in Wesley Chapel, Florida, which is a suburb of Tampa. So people would think, well, why would you ever leave Florida to go somewhere else to visit? There's a lot of reasons behind that. And our journey to South Africa is a long one. I am a world-renowned YouTube world traveler. YouTube.
Okay.
Follow
So
a lot of YouTube
first of all, you got to
podcasters.
tell them your YouTube channel. You got to let them know if you have a YouTube channel.
I do not know.
Yeah.
All my
okay.
YouTube videos.
Watch it.
No, I watch it. All of my YouTube videos are kids' football games, so that's my forte. Our journey to South Africa began just with an inkling of something's just off here at home. Just wanted to get out and visit, want to see things, because we've been to other places where people would tell you, oh, don't go there, it's a horrible place to be, or things are not that great. And we don't go by basically hearsay. We like to go see for ourselves. And Africa, the whole continent, is on the list of, that's the bucket list. We want to go to different places in Africa. So actually, I found the real South Africa accidentally. It all started with a YouTuber, Wude Maya, did an interview with Mark and you a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
Yeah, a couple of years ago. I stumbled across the video a year and a half ago and watched it, loved it. Like everything that you Blantons are doing. And I was like, well, if we go to South Africa, we're definitely going to look them up and experience it that way. But I had no idea what you meant when you said, oh, we're going to put you on a luxury tour. I don't think anybody could imagine what they're going to experience once they get there, what you guys have set up for them. So
really,
I'm speechless. I can't even put it into words.
Yeah. So a lot of it started was just we wanted to see other parts of the world. We've done a lot of traveling and that sort of stuff, but we had ever been to the continent of Africa, and we wanted to see some different things. And eventually, like as we get older, we may want to consider retiring. We want to be able to stay places for longer, maybe retire out of the country. We were looking at different places, and so that's another reason why we were looking kind of at Africa and wanted to see different parts. Because the typical image, or especially back in the day that they would try to portray of Africa, is you would think it's all just one thing, just one monolithic, place, not the variety and different peoples and experiences you would have throughout the whole continent. But everyone in America, the idea of Africa is the anorexic baby with a big belly and the fly on their face and with the crusties on their mouth, that everyone is there starving and everything's just a bush. You're only going there, like you said, for the safari or something like that. And you don't think of it as like there are many different parts. There's like major cities, just like here, and a lot of variety in the different peoples and everything. So we really wanted to get a firsthand experience to not just what we're being fed and on TV or the media here, but we really wanted to see firsthand what was going on.
Okay, wonderful. So you found the real South Africa and you were like, this is who I think we want to travel with. And that decision didn't come lightly. So who greenlit the decision?
It was kind of a combination. I showed it to her and had her watch a few of your videos. I'll be honest with you, the real estate tours was like, we got to go check this out. We wanted to visit, but when we started looking at the real estate tour videos, I'm like, wait a minute. They're living way better than we are. Okay, let's go check this out. And then we got to your website and started looking at the different tour packages and everything. I was like, well, I kind of want to do a tour and see everything, or as much as we can in the time that we have. And to be honest with you, there's not enough time in the year to go through everything. We just literally got so stuck in the water.
Yeah.
So,
we did the Johannesburg and Cape Town tour, and it was like we could have stayed there another months. So just a taste, a little teaser.
Going to the airport to come home was depressing. So.
Oh,
yes,
it's okay.
yes.
That's not the first time we've heard that. So let's just talk. We're going to split it up. You know, I definitely want to hear. I don't want to hear the differences because I know that there are differences in each experience between Cape Town and Johannesburg. And I'm not going to ask you which one you liked better because they are very different. But just talk about what you actually got out of your experience here in Johannesburg.
For me, it was an eye-opening experience all the way around. Everybody knows of the safaris. You kind of know what to expect with that. You go see the animals in their own environment. That's great. But to land in Johannesburg and be picked up, I would say 5-star class, and just driven to your hotel, which was again 5-star class, and just seeing what's in the area is what's shocking. It's like you would feel like you're in, I don't know, Singapore, New York, one of the major metropolitans. It's not what you expect based on what we've been taught over the years.
Yes.
So that first impression was like the airport is huge, and actually when we got in at like 8:00 at night, and it was actually pretty quiet and empty, which I thought was that was strange. We were like the last flight in. I was like, well, this is kind of strange. Huge airport, and there's not hustle and bustle. And from stepping off the plane to everything, you just felt chill. There was no irate people waiting for their luggage, just talking to everybody. It was just
friendly.
Now it could be we were in vacation mode, so it was like, okay, but it just seemed just relaxed.
Very friendly, very polite, very relaxed. It's like, it was refreshing. And definitely, I guess you kind of penny pinching this and this, and we were, you thought it's going to be like a nice, hotel, but yeah, you guys look really yourselves. It was definitely, great hotels. The staff, everything were perfect. Our drivers are always, impeccable and helpful, and we were really impressed by what you guys put together in terms of accommodations and both cities. But everything was like really top notch.
I was actually extremely impressed with the communication.
I don't. Yeah, Savannah was.
There's a third person there that I didn't even know about. Her name is Savannah. She was just awesome, start to finish. Yeah. So I assume that's your daughter.
On track, or
from the time that plane landed and we got off of flight mode from the phones, it was just on point communication all the way through. We knew exactly what we were going to do, who we were going to meet, where we were going to be, what time to do whatever. She was just on point, to the point where I told my wife, I was like, we've never traveled like this before. This is different. We always
traveling off.
We always get up like, well, what do we do today, or where do we go today, or how do we do this? And she was like, no, tomorrow we're gonna pick you up at this time. We're gonna go here. You're gonna do this. You're gonna see this. And I was like, this is awesome. So.
Now, isn't that important? Do you feel that now that you've experienced it, it's important to have, obviously everything ordered for you and ready to go? So I would assume that was important to you, that you had that
especially when you're going so far away. You're already a little nervous, like, oh, what do we do, where do we go, but it's like, that took all of that stress away your way, and every outing was perfect, and things that we would want to see, and that added the value to the experience, whether it was the safari or going to the museums and that sort of stuff. It just was really.
I think people underestimate the importance of having somebody there that knows what to do or know where to take you, because that is just such a big stress reliever. It's like all we got to do is just show up. Get clothes ready and just show up. That is a huge relief.
Don't you think that adds to the level of relaxation? Because a lot of people like the experience of having to figure it out for themselves. But I think that you don't travel this far to have to figure out anything. I'm not saying you would waste your time.
I would. It's interesting. I would have to question which demographic or what age group like to figure it out themselves. Us middle-agers, listen, I'm gonna land and I'm in your hands. Just take me where you want. Take me to the best sites or the best things to do. I don't want to have to worry about it. I just want to You tell me where we're going, I'm like, okay, we're there.
I can imagine some of the places would have been stressful. If we had had a driver that knew where in and out the road, just trying to park, find where to walk. Is this a safe road to walk up? I don't know. Yeah, we don't want any of that. So it was very helpful.
Excellent.
And drivers are always like very knowledgeable and explain things, and they would be, giving us their own kind of little, version or tour, because we could talk to like a local person that could give you an idea of what's really going on in the area and that sort of stuff. But that was always helpful.
I think those things are important, and I'm glad that you brought that up, because a lot of people just think transportation is something equivalent to like an Uber or a Bolt or a Lyft. And those are forms of transportation that are available here in South Africa. And I would only recommend those things if it's just like a short, quick trip. You got to like run to the mall and come back. But for something that you've traveled this far for, I don't think an Uber or a Lyft or a Bolt, I don't think that those people are going to give you any significant information that's going to keep you safe, number one. They're not going to give you any significant information that's going to add to the culture of South Africa. And I don't think that they're going to care for you as much as the people that we put you with, because we have a really high level of standard and a brand that we like to keep, and the people we work with are aware of that.
Well, it's definitely working, because if you mentioned Blanton, it was like, oh, jump. It's almost like how high. So it's very well organized.
Every part, every aspect of it was great, and like I said, it's very well organized. Everyone was friendly. It just really made it for like a relaxing. We just really like to enjoy the learning about South Africa.
It has created a slight problem though. So now when we travel other places, we're gonna have a problem, because we're gonna expect that type of service, and you may get it, you may not. But so you've raised the bar so high, it's like, all right, well, I guess we'll just we just gonna lower expectations when we go other places.
Well, don't feel bad. There are others who have. I put it to you like this. They're like, okay, we have things scheduled for the year. We're going to all these different places. And then let's say they might have 4 trips set up for the year, and we're number 2. So then they'll be like, yeah, we're going to the Bahamas and we're going to do this. And then we're going to come on your tour. And then they come on a tour with us and they have this similar experience that you guys had. And then they're calling us like, yeah, that number 3 trip that we were talking about, we're going to that. And we're coming back to South Africa, and then Tyler calls him a repeat offender. She calls him a repeat offender, and the biggest reason why is because those repeat offenders come because they say the same thing you guys just said. How can I travel well somewhere else? Because now we get the opportunity to travel well, and the biggest reason that happens is because we like to travel well, and so we want our people to do the same, and so. Yeah, so it just works out. So I'm really glad that you guys had that level of experience.
Excellent. So what's the one thing that stood out to you here in Johannesburg?
Remember they went to Cape Town.
I know, I haven't got to Cape Town yet.
Actually, if there's anything I put on, it's just the vibe. I didn't feel any security threats. Everybody, like she said, was friendly. It was almost like you're at home around a bunch of family that you don't really know, but it was just a vibe, just the overall experience. I don't know how else to put it other than I felt safe. I felt welcome. I didn't feel it. Okay, we lived in Michigan for a while, then we moved to Atlanta. And going from Michigan to Atlanta, it was going from not so many affluent blacks to a city where there are tons of affluent blacks. It was kind of on that same level. We came to the city, it's predominantly black, and everybody's doing well, and everybody's friendly, and it was just nice. You didn't feel people staring at you like, oh, I've always been accused of being too proper, whatever that is. We didn't feel into that. It was just chill, just relax. Very cultural. Lots of cultural things to experience. That things that, as a kid, I remember reading or seeing it on the news, but now I'm there. It's just different when you're there in person.
Mm-hmm. So I like just to show the positivity of the people. Even though we went to the Mandela House and always got different things there that was like, very impactful. I think just like learning about their history and how far they've come. And just in general, even though everything that they experienced and are, still evolving and dealing with, just the positivity of the people, from coming through there and dealing with the problem of apartheid and that sort of stuff. That in general, I just felt like just a very positive outlook of the residents there. And so that I think probably impressed me like the most. And then this time, not realizing that to us, Johannesburg, before it was Johannesburg, well, this is like, like a smaller city. Just realizing like, no, this is like regular city, like everywhere else. Even when I told people I was going to Johannesburg, it was like, what? Oh, aren't you worried? Aren't you scared? Aren't you no, it's like a city like everybody, like everywhere else. I can go right down the street and tell you where the crime is, as in any, city in America is. I think just people's perception of it is different, but, I was just surprised at like the scope and breadth and how big the city was, but also just the people themselves, like how like positive they were in everything that they thought through.
Excellent. Okay, so it's time to leave Johannesburg, and you got a flight to Cape Town. So start from the flight to Cape Town until you get to your hotel in Cape Town. Tell me that story.
First of all, did you get a notification saying that you was leaving Johannesburg and this the flight you were going to be on and you were going to
Oh yeah. Not only did we get a notification, we were checked in, had boarding passes, and had a driver time to be picked up and everything.
Yeah, so like clockwork. Everything was
matter of fact, I don't think I would go to sleep the night before until I got her message saying what we're doing the next day.
But everything was totally on point and just like clockwork. Just not a beat was
did not miss a heartbeat. So we knew exactly well in advance what we were doing, which flight we were on. What threw us off is the flight from Johannesburg to Cape Town. I guess y'all booked us in business class.
Right. Yeah. So cute. Right?
Business class is I don't want to say I'm trying to be politically correct. There's something about getting on a plane first that just makes you feel special.
No. That's the only time we got daggers thrown at us is when the person walked us up and no, they're going to priority and we skipped a long line of people to get to the priority line. So I was like, oh, okay, sorry.
That's the experience. So.
Excellent.
Well, you got to understand who you were traveling with, and that's what we try to understand. That when everything that you're going to do is going to be above board and beyond if we can get it for you, and that's what you just experienced. You just explained it. We appreciate that.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Now we know.
Yeah.
Now we know.
So now you're
spoiled now. I'm like, okay,
a little bit. I think you deserve that, Doc. So if you need to be spoiled, be spoiled. I think you deserve it.
Yeah.
So you get to Cape Town, and I guess you're confused because now you don't know who's going to pick you up, right?
No, we knew exactly who was going to
Yeah.
Getting off the plane, there's somebody there with a sign with your name on it. It's like, okay. And I don't know how they knew, but they knew who we were. They would have the sign, but they would literally walk up to us before I even saw the sign.
Yeah,
so I don't know if they had pictures of us or it was kind of FBI. It's kind of scary.
We put a lot of things.
But there probably were so many people that were looking. But no, everything was, like I said, was right on point. And then we would get our notifications, boom, but they make sure, okay, we should have landed. Your driver should be waiting right here.
Actually, there's a story to that because the plane was 30 minutes late taking off. And we're boarding. I'm sitting on the plane, and Savannah texts, "I'm sorry, but your plane is 30 minutes delayed." And I just started laughing, and I was like, "Well, we kind of know we're sitting here, but we're on the plane, and she's letting us know that we're delayed." So I was like, "Okay, they're not missing a beat at all." So
Mhm.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
wonderful. That's wonderful. So now we're in Cape Town. Okay, so now I want you to tell me about your experience in Cape Town.
Cape Town reminded me a lot of Los Angeles, Miami Beach.
California, Miami. Kind of
It
vibe.
had that
Mhm.
vibe. I felt a little bit more touristy, like in Cape Town. It just seemed to look, I don't know, more like a tourist area that you would visit. It was nice. It was very nice, but it was a little bit. It wasn't that homey vibe. It was just like, okay, we're on a tourist type of vacation. We're gonna, and then you're looking at the mountains.
So
It was
beautiful.
very nice, but it was just a different feeling. Just wasn't bad, very good, but it was
Yeah,
just
it was
more
good.
touristy. Like, okay, we're a beach town now, so we're gonna just enjoy this.
Mhm.
And the first night, we didn't get there too late, but we were walking around at night. Even though they say, "Oh, don't walk around at night," I felt safe. And I couldn't for the life, I don't understand for the life of me why there are so many KFCs there. I was like, what is with KFC? Every other corner is KFC. So I'm like, well, I'm going to stop and get KFC just to see if there's a difference in the chicken. There's something not right here. So we actually did that first night. And
Yeah, you got it. I was like, I did not
She
come
didn't,
here
but
to eat
I did.
KFC. Okay. I was like, let me order something else, but I tasted it. But
It was good. It was better than here.
Whoa.
Oh my goodness.
Don't say that.
yeah,
I hate
I wouldn't necessarily agree. There are plenty of other things to eat that are much more appetizing, yes, to take part in the local cuisine or and that sort of thing. In both places, you can get whatever kind of food that you want. It's just like any other city. You want Italian, you want Mexican, you want Indian. There's all kind of variety of foods and stuff there. So there's plenty of restaurants you can get whatever kind of food that you want or want to eat.
I just had to try it because there were so many of them. So
And see what the fascination was. I don't know.
So you tried to eat it all. I got it.
yeah, well, I'm very picky with what I eat, so I'm not as adventurous. She's like, "Oh, you got to try all the local cuisine." I'm like, "Okay, if it don't look right, I don't know." But
Yeah.
But their presentation for food makes you like maybe I'll
yeah,
try it.
yeah,
Mhm, yeah.
yeah.
Their presentation
I
is
know.
good. I didn't ask you about the food in Joburg, but you guys can give me an overview of the food later on. Is there anything in obviously Cape Town is very touristy, so we can't take anything away from that, but it is very beautiful. Is there anything in Cape Town that stood out to you besides the KFCs?
It kind of reminds me of the hustle and bustle of home. Everybody's just kind of hustling, doing their thing. But cultural wise, like going on to the mountain, I can't remember the name of the mountain. Table Mountain. I again speechless.
Yeah. That was impressive for us, especially we live in Florida, so everything's like, flat. We're used to flat in the beach. That's why I say it kind of reminds us of like typical kind of like beach town, like we would, see in like Florida or Miami or somewhere. But just the juxtapose of like the mountain on one side and then literally we literally walked to the beach where you could see the mountain from, from where you pretty much anywhere in the city. Was just like very impressive. And when we went on our tour, we went around the peninsula tour, that sort of stuff, where you go on like both sides and seeing like Atlantic Ocean, Indian Ocean. I thought that was like very impressive, just very like beautiful and scenic and that sort of stuff. And actually, my favorite spot was like the penguin spot.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so I like animals. So so that was definitely a very cool experience and that sort of stuff.
You promised me pictures. You promised me pictures.
Oh,
yeah, we have to.
We're bad with that.
It's okay.
I have tons of pictures. I'm showing coworkers, but they have not made it online yet.
I'm teasing.
So you felt so this tour overall, like, I mean, I'm not trying to, push one way direction or another, but the tour overall, well, how would you compare it to, let's say, some other vacation spots that you have been to over the years?
This is the best vacation. This is like the best vacation we've ever been.
Literally. Prior to that, I think our best vacation, we've gone to Atlantis in the Bahamas quite a few times. That's always awesome.
Out there at Mediterranean. We're on the Mediterranean.
Mediterranean cruise was nice, but this by far was the absolute best vacation we've ever taken. And we have 2 adult sons that did not make this trip. But I was like, I'm texting them like, you guys have got to come here. You guys have got to come here. So at some point, you'll see 2 more Perkins show up there. But it was absolutely the best.
Yeah.
And most of that is, I'm just going to put credit where credit is due. Most of that is the package that you presented, that you gave us. It doesn't get me better than that.
Like, do all of that. And
like
if we were trying to figure out the stuff to do ourselves and like trying to work everything in, I don't think we would have done it as efficiently.
Yeah. But like this, for 10 days,
together.
we saw more in 10 days than we probably could have seen in a month by ourselves. That's just the bottom line.
Figure out where
and then managed to show us houses in there too. So.
So, like, for example, because like I will tell you this. Sometimes people, they come and you know, before they come, they see like these little spots in their schedule where there's nothing in there, or they have a little time, like a little break day. So we know about day number 2, you're going to hit a wall because you just came, you know, X amount of hours on a flight and the time zone. So we kind of know when these things are going to happen. And so people are like, I'm so glad I had that one day. What do we call that day?
Down day.
Yeah, we call it
like an acclimation day or a rest day.
Yeah.
And I think for you guys, you got to rest like part of the morning, and then you went to go look at homes here in Johannesburg.
Right.
Right.
Yeah,
which was perfect because we were, you know, getting for the time change and stuff. But it was kind of like an easy day, and you know, the agent was, you know, driving us around and you know, seeing different stuff. But it was like a nice, like, low key day. So it worked great.
It was perfect.
Because you need that. If you don't take that day, day 3, day 6 is gonna be tough. You'll be like, I need my sleep. And
once we got there, I don't think I really felt the jet lag. I was expecting to be like ridiculously jet lag, but I think that rest day where it was kind of was like a low key day when we first got there. And plus, the key is like on the plane, try to sleep as much as possible so that when you like try to get on the schedule, the South African schedule, early on, like starting on the plane. But yeah, I actually didn't feel as jet lagged. Once we got there, I guess they had that kind of day to kind of acclimate. The rest of the time, like it seemed like we'd been there the whole time. It was probably more like coming back now. So they were like,
Okay. Is there anything else about Cape Town that made you say, wow, I see why people come down here? Is there anything like that crosses your mind?
I'm a big cultural buff. I like museums, things like that, arts things. So
like the Robben
there's
Island, like,
so
really
much there.
Opening and impressive, but
unless you spend a lot of time there, you're not gonna see it all at once. But I was impressed with every aspect of it, from the museum with the slaves, Robben Island, all of that, going up on the mountain. That there's just so much there. I can't pinpoint one specific thing that's more impressive than the other because it's just all overwhelmingly impressive.
Yeah, I mean, there's still like a lot to do, but I can see people also with this, they just want, you know, like to relax and chill on the beach or by the shore or something like that you could do things. They were like, oh, if we come back, we would like maybe go on the train that goes like back and forth. I mean, we could see like different things that, you know, enough to like, ooh, if we came back, we would want to try to do this and try to do something.
You said if we come back. I said when we come back. So.
Well, yeah, we're already going to like the next time we might go to
yeah. The other thing is like when we first booked the tour, we had contemplated putting Durban on it too, but we were like, I don't know if I can get that much time off. And I'm kind of glad we didn't, because that makes us come back for something else that we have not seen yet. So we'll definitely be back with Durban. We'll definitely be back for more Johannesburg. Johannesburg is just sneaky impressive. It's like you don't expect it to be that nice.
I could definitely see living there. Like Cape Town reminds us like a place like you're gonna go on vacation. You would go on vacation, go to visit for a little bit.
I can see living in Johannesburg and visiting everywhere else just to hang out for a little bit and then going back home.
Yeah.
100%.
I remember years ago when when we first started and everybody just wanted to go to Cape Town. So they'll be like, oh, because I've heard of Cape Town, but I never really heard anything about Johannesburg, like, or we call Joburg or Josie, for us who are here all the time. And they're like, okay, is there any way I can come for just a couple of days in Johannesburg and spend the rest of my time in Cape Town? And back then, back in 2019, 2020, these years, we was like, okay, we will sort things out. And, it all depends. Some people have preference for Cape Town and some people have preference for Johannesburg. And you can tell because they would go to Johannesburg and then they'd go to Cape Town. We used to have people calling us that was in Joburg, came to Cape Town and would call us and say, hey, what's going on in Joburg?
I'm like, what?
It's sneaky. That's a good one. I like that.
No, it's a very good word. But I like the way you put it.
Yeah.
When you say that Johannesburg is a very good jump off. Because if you think about it, the flight to Cape Town was only 2 hours. So if you wanted to spend a long weekend in Cape Town to do some other stuff, you could hop a 2-hour flight, spend many days there, hop a 2-hour flight back home. Then when you do come back and you decide you want to do Joburg again, obviously you'll do different things in Joburg. If you decide to do that trip, we'll put something different together for you. And then you hit Durban. That's only a 50-minute flight.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So it really is a jump off spot to get to. And even if you wanted to, go some other places in South Africa, I think the longest flight is 2 hours.
2 hours, yeah.
Is 2 hours. Even to get to the Eastern Cape, it's 2 hours. And to get to proper Kruger, that's only an hour flight. So you can get anywhere from Joburg.
Yeah,
well, speaking of which, also the flights were nothing was very expensive in my opinion. But I was the one thing that threw us for a loop the entire time was gratuity. And I will tip for good service. We will tip for good service. But when I have my little conversion calculator working overtime, and I'm saying, okay, well, how much is the gratuity? And I'm looking at it, I'm like, well, Google says this, and I'm looking at it going, that doesn't seem right. So we probably overdid it.
It's okay.
Just because the conversion rate was nice, very nice.
Yeah, much so. What's so much further used to that?
Yeah.
Wait a minute, it's only that. What?
Yeah. So I guess I probably shouldn't say that too much, because then everybody will go there and then.
No. Here's what I tell people. And Savannah, I think she told you the same thing. Always tip from your heart, number one. And number two, those tips go directly into the economy. A lot of people ask about how can I affect the economy here in South Africa. Tipping those people is the most direct way you can inject money into this economy, because it's going to go forward to their families, pay for school fees, all kinds of things that you won't even know about, but you are helping when you leave good tips.
Well,
so thank you.
So,
but that's what everyone was just in both locations. I mean, just from start to finish.
Yeah.
It was just impeccable service, and all of our drivers and tour guides. I mean, everyone's just it makes it a difference. It was really relaxing and educational, and it's not. And while we were driving around, I mean, we were used to having a private driver. We're usually the ones on the bus. That's seeing the big bus. So we would see those little city buses and tours and stuff, and see them herding the people through. But it made a total difference with having a private guide that could really be in depth and and could ask more direct questions and the kind of stuff that we were interested in, and just a little more personalized.
Even on a safari, having a personal safari guide, I was like, this. Oh wait, this is personal. Okay, fine.
Yeah.
He went all over the park trying to find stuff.
Hurting everybody on one single tour. It's let's go. Let's try to do this. Okay, let's do it. Made it really more of a special experience.
It makes it makes sense. I think again, you guys, obviously paid your money. You guys obviously had to get that long flight and get on that flight, take time off from work, so there was no overtime involved. But when you get here, yeah, you know you take. So we take all these things into consideration.
Mhm.
So when we are approaching all our vendors and the people that you guys are dealing with, I mean, obviously they know now we've been doing it for an extended period of time, but you know they normally just say, okay, well, why can't they just get on the private safari with everyone else? They
Mhm.
literally have said this, and we're like, no, our people, the real South Africa, we have our own scenario. So if it's just two people, let's
Or
just say,
one.
oh, one, they're going to get that experience. And
Mhm.
obviously, you brought it up because it really does make a difference, in your tour. And if I can advocate for it, which I always do, you guys deserve it. I believe it. I know what it's like to be that tourist flying to
Mhm.
South Africa
Mhm.
and not really knowing, this, that, and the third, and feeling like I had to hustle for services and push buttons to get things to work for me. But if there was
Mhm.
a situation where I could have just did it without having to do anything, I think I would be sounding just like you guys. What do you think?
No,
Absolutely.
Yeah,
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 yeah.
yeah. So every work everything.
I know it's taken a while for you to build that up and build that reputation up, but what you have is awesome. We will definitely be using it anytime we come there, which is probably going to be quite often because, like she said, we're scouting now. So
Okay,
Yeah.
good. We'll be
Well,
happy to help.
it's funny you say that, the whole scouting thing. Now, maybe that wasn't your plan initially. I know you said you saw a lot of videos, for the real estate tour.
mhm.
There are a lot of people out there scouting. Once they've come, they've seen it, and then it became real. So when you came here on a tour, even though it wasn't I'm going to use the term relocation tour, did it make you want to scout a little harder since you've been here?
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
absolutely.
So we wanted to get the initial flavor of just like, okay, well, let's just see what these areas are about. So we wanted to do kind of like the tourist kind of tour, like okay, let's see
Yeah,
what is here, just to get a feel for the place in general. But then that just like piques your interest, like okay, now when I go back, ooh, I want even more, like stay a little longer and like get even more like integrated to see. As part of our scouting, like, ooh, is this somewhere we want to stay? Or maybe next time we might come for like a couple months or something. So yeah, we're looking at different places to see, but definitely it's like high on the list.
I'm actually following in your footstep, Mark, because I was watching an interview that you had and how you initially got there and you're going back and forth for a little bit first and then just deciding, hey, this is it. So we don't make decisions like that lightly. So we're like,
exactly.
okay, we're looking at a whole bunch of different things. But right now, if I were to retire tomorrow and was going to leave the United States, I'm coming straight there to Johannesburg because that's just, I felt most comfortable there. I could see myself being out there. I'm not a big golfer. I play zigzag golf where I hit it and go
Yeah,
find.
yeah,
Golf
sure.
seems to be a big thing there, but I can totally see myself just relaxing. I'm a car guy. I have to get used to the driving on the wrong side of the road, but
Yeah, that's what.
that was a little weird.
Yeah, it
But
passes.
it basically comes down to feeling. As you know, here things are a little tense for us. Uh, but there, I was like, okay, I'm just one of the guys. I'm just here. So the development that's going on there is impressive. It's exploding, especially north. I Stanton and all those areas up there. I was like, okay. So I get, and then some of the older resales. So we saw a couple of houses that were older resales, and I was like, I don't even know which way I would want to go. Right now, you created a different problem because it's like, okay, what do you do? So we'll be hanging out with y'all for that to see how that
Yeah.
goes.
But those are
And
good problems to have. Those are good problems to have. Yeah. So, but yeah. So we don't. So when people call us, they're like, "We just want to do relocation." I'm like, "Come on a tour,"
Mhm.
Yeah,
because
yeah. You want to see a little bit first. Like I say, get a feel what I want to do there, what I want to go to. Actually want to see
Yeah.
different parts.
Because that's 100% great advice because you think what you know based on what you've been watching, but when you get there, I'm not saying it's different, but the feeling of actually being there and seeing things for yourself sometimes is could screw your decision one way or the other.
Yeah, Gary was telling us Cape Town before too, and I was like, yeah, it's like beautiful. It's like, yeah, it's like kind of like beach like what we have, but it's like there's still like the feel of like you was kind of saying like visiting or living. Like if I'm really gonna live somewhere and integrate myself into that community and that sort of like where would I want to be? So that's what we have. Look with a discerning eye. You gotta know yourself, and then learn about the area to really determine what's the best place for you.
Yeah, and see, and what I realize more than anything, my discerning eye is there's a lot of us, like me and Tasha, like yourselves, that need these opportunities put in front of them. They just need to go see it for themselves. And normally what happens is once they see it for themselves, they go home like you guys are at home right now, relaxing. Then you start thinking, and then you start saying, and then you might come back on another tour, and then you might come on a real estate tour. These things happen, and to me, that's the relocation process right there, because that's how we relocated. So, and I'm not saying it's about relocation. A lot of people just want to come on an amazing tour like you guys did, and I think that's what it should be about sometimes. So, at the end of the day, I'm super happy that you guys are, came and had the experience, because it's totally different than watching a video on TV. Actually being in South Africa properly.
Even better. That's it. You gotta experience it. And we've been looking at online and trying to decide different places and do that, but it's sometimes you just gotta do it. The do darn thing.
So now we need you guys to branch out to the different areas. You probably need a real Ghana or a real Ethiopia. You kind of got to spread your craft here.
Well, it's funny you say that, because we've been asked before from Botswana for sure, Namibia, other places. But if I can't reach those places and have the influence that I need there, then I wouldn't feel comfortable sending you somewhere, and then when you get it and say, well, too bad, you're here now and you're stuck. Let me give you for example. So like, for example, we send people to Zimbabwe to Victoria Falls, right? And I can say, and they can say on both sides, that we've been there on a number of occasions, and we understand what they're going to do, and they know what our people need. So just like everywhere else you guys went, and you say, wow, the Blantons got this on lock. If you went to Zimbabwe, you would be like, oh, the real South Africa, and they will treat you on the level, because and say, hey, our team is coming. So if we could have that levels of reach everywhere, that'd be great. But unfortunately, we don't have that. But in South Africa, it's a phone call away. It's a flight away, or just a drive, because sometimes we drive to these locations and we go take a look to see, and then we tell them, hey, they're not Europeans. These are Americans, and this is kind of what we like it to look like. And they're like, well, the other 10,000 people, we did this. And I'm like, well, for us, you got to do this. and I'm gonna speak up, and I'm gonna tell you in your face, Jermaine, I'm speaking up for you, because you're gonna bring that wife, and she's gonna show up, and she needs to be taken care of. I don't want to set you up for failure, so you need to be able to say, everything's covered. I got it, baby. And that's where it should be.
Well, I appreciate it. Made me look like a superhero.
Exactly. We all looking like heroes up here. And so, so that's what we're doing. So we really appreciate you guys trusting us in this tourism space, because like I said, we're almost feel like lone wolves out here. But we make sure that when you come through that gate at OR Tambo International Airport, there's somebody holding a sign, and then you start feeling comfortable as the days go by. So at one point you get to a point where you got to leave.
Yeah.
What happened? What happened? Tell the truth. Tell them.
the day before, attitudes change. It's like, okay, I'm thinking, okay, well, it's over. It's been the shortest, quickest 10 days of my life. Like, okay, we're gonna hit this plane. We got 15 hours to just think about the inevitable. But now here's something that's funny. I get on the plane. I'm watching my videos as I do because it's a long flight. And the very first video I saw was how bad Johannesburg was. I'm sitting there going,
what are they talking about?
and I'm sitting there laughing. I'm like, wait, this is obviously some propaganda here because they obviously haven't been where we just came from. And I'm like, okay. I started laughing. Probably the flight attendant probably thought I was nuts, but that's okay. And what that made me do is realize, like, okay, so we got 10 days down. When are we coming back? And that sounds crazy. You're getting off of vacation, planning when you're coming back while you're on the flight going home. So that's a testament to you all because it's like, okay, I can't wait to get back. When are we going back? What else can I say? It's like, we will be back. We will be back through the real South Africa because there's no other way to do it.
Well, like I said, we really appreciate you guys trusting us because it's not easy, to trust somebody or trust a company, and you're going so far, it's not, and you're going to a lot of unknown stuff, but eventually you get here, you see that we have it sorted out for you. And then you start feeling comfortable. The wife's feeling comfortable. She's going through shopping centers, looking at stuff they have available. You guys will at homes and stuff like that because obviously you added that to your tour. So that portion of it, how was that? Getting the opportunity.
Well, it's funny because you hooked us up with JP, who I actually have been following on YouTube.
Yeah.
So I'm like, wait a minute, why does this guy look familiar? I have been I'm watching your tours, and I just happened to stumble on him a few weeks before we got there, and I'm like, why does he look familiar? I have been following him. So we're driving around looking at houses. He was great, showing us everything, telling us everything that's coming up, showing us everything that it's almost like he catered what he was showing us to what we said we thought we wanted. And I'm sitting there going, this is like awesome. I bought in my head 4 houses while we were there. Each one was better than the other one. He's like, well, which one do you like better? I was like, well, I like the second one, but the third one would have this. And so that, even though that was the condensed version, just half a day, I could do that for a whole week. So that.
But it gives you an idea again of like, and you see what the regular neighborhoods where people will be living, not the shacks in the bush that they projected.
You were like,
just all safari. It's like, there's no huts. It's like, it's a city. It's like normal city, like everywhere.
So the condensed version that we have was excellent. The tour, JP was excellent. He explained to us how the process would go if you were to purchase something, whether it be to move to or for investment. Not really into an investment thing. I just want to just relax. But we'll see.
That's no really thing, Elliot.
But everything that he showed us was within our projected price range. Everything that we wanted, and some things that we didn't think we wanted that he showed us. I was like, okay, this would be perfect. But then we had to come back to.
Very good.
It was very good. You got the right people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny you brought up JP. He's on socials because we've been with JP. Actually, he's been with us for 6 or 7 years at this point. And so he's built up a following. He's like, how do you do that whole YouTube thing? So we kind of chatted with him because we want him in the company that he works for. His boss name is JP as well.
There you go.
And that's who I know as well. And so whenever we need stuff, they understand what we need as far as Americans coming here with the real South Africa. So he knew exactly what to do, and you guys just experienced it. And on our real estate tour, now that you were talking about looking at homes and whatnot and getting the information, people get shotgun blast, tons of information from professionals like JP and others to include like everything from immigrations to insurances you're going to need to banks and mortgage companies. I mean, I bring them in the room, just like, you know, you met JP, and people can ask questions and get real answers in real time and take that with them. And that's why people get so excited. They're like, now that I know, and then I have a team. So even if you are at home and you want to send JP a message to say, hey, I saw this or I saw that, he will reach back out to you because I'm not going to say you belong to us, but he knows you with the real South Africa. And he will definitely make sure everything goes in your favor. We've had people that moved here. We didn't even know they even moved here in Durban, for example, because we have people out there as well. But they went through the whole process and they call us and say, hey,
we've been here a year.
Oh, goodness.
And they always do the same thing. They always think, because they're like, we could have never done this if we wasn't messing with you guys. And I'm like, well, thank you. And then they're like, no, you don't understand. If it wasn't for you guys, we wouldn't have been able to live this life. Because I think when you was here, you can kind of see the lifestyles that are happening on this side.
Oh yeah. Much improved. We kick around that idea when we retire, we're gonna probably move out or go somewhere that's a little bit less hectic, a little bit more, relaxing. But to be honest with you, once again, you kind of ruined it for the rest of the world. Because I just don't know where you're going to go get that type of value and that type of that type of feeling. I just don't know where you're going to get it other than there. Right? I mean, because here the big thing is moving down to south of the border, Mexico, places like that. But and a lot of aspects are moving over to Philippines, places like that. And I'm just like, South Africa has got all those places kind of, top notch. So no decisions have been made, but
This is our scouting.
Yeah, we're scouting.
Right now, it's on the top of the list.
To the point where
like I say, you spoiled. It's on top of the list right now.
It will be hard to go anywhere else other than. My son's like, would you really consider moving to South Africa? Like, yeah, absolutely, in a heartbeat. Not even think about it. So.
Well, let me ask you this question, because I'm going to ask the question. It's a loaded question, so just understand that. But we live here and we get stopped if I went to the mall and back, I would have gotten stopped once or twice, maybe 3 times by South Africans asking the question. And the question is, and they always are like, why did y'all come here? They literally ask that all the time. Like, I can't believe y'all could go in. You in America, why would you come here? Right? That's the one question. So I'm gonna give you that loaded question, and I'm gonna let you answer. Then I got one more loaded question that I want you guys to answer, because they will probably listen to you guys more than they listen to me.
Well, so that first question, why would you come there? I'm going to say that's probably asked by people who only know of the United States from what they see on TV. It's comfortable here, but there is a hustle here. It's a rat race. You're constantly fighting for every little bitty thing. You're always working to this. You're always working to that. You always have to, you're constantly on your grind to just maintain what you amass. And it gets tired after a while. Once you get a certain age, you're like, okay, I got it, it's paid for, but I'm tired of the rat race. I'm tired of I don't want to be too negative about the United States. It's a great country to where we come up, but you just get tired of the same old fight. So I just want to go someplace where I can relax. I'm not worried, looking over my shoulder. I'm not being questioned about my credentials or my wealth or anything like that. I just want to be someplace where I'm just left alone, just relax. So people that have never been here, never felt the tension. There's a lot of tension right now, but there's a lot, you know, they don't understand that aspect of it because they never experienced it. Now, I can say this, South Africa has its own little history. It's not the greatest history, but the difference between South Africa and the United States is South Africa recognized that what's happened in the past and they're making amends for it, and they're working towards, you know, building a community together. Here in the United States, we're trying to erase what happened in the past. We're trying to erase all the tension. We're trying to erase all the negative stuff and just ignore, sweep it under the rug. Oh, get over it. That happened a long time ago. But, well, there's a lot of stuff that still affects us to this day that we're just kind of tired. So why there? Because I felt a heck of a lot more comfortable there than, you know, at home. I'm not going to front and say, hey, our jobs we're amassed some wealth here at our jobs. So that allow us to move to other places, but at the same time, the opportunities here, you have to fight for them. But that's everywhere. That's everywhere.
I mean, that could be everywhere.
So,
Every place has their issues, their history, that sort of stuff. So that's what I said. Probably the people there are very positive, and like even they're still evolving. They're still, like, every place has their issues, and they're working through things. But I think just in general, just economically, it's like if we get closer to want to retire, or especially if we wanted to retire a little bit earlier, so you've been on the rat race so long, you know, on the hamster wheel. When you get off, it's like when you do want to retire early, you want your money to go further, or, you know. So I think sometimes being outside of the U.S., you can go to places where things are a lot more economical, and your retirement money can go a lot further than where it is in America. Now those things may change, whatever, but not like usually things just go up.
Yeah.
And even in other countries, I expect those. I mean, eventually it'll go up there too. This is the natural order of things, but still, I think your money goes further when you go to some of these other places, and so I think that makes for a better retirement if we're going to do that.
Excellent.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's a great answer. But people, like I said, they always ask us, like, why are you guys here? And not in a bad way. They just want to know. Because like you said, a lot of them maybe they haven't traveled to the U.S., haven't spent time. They maybe been in the South African bubble. And of course, they get the same way we get fed in the U.S. About Africa in general, but South Africa. And I tell them, because when I'm chatting with people that talk to us, they always think, oh, wait a minute, you guys should know everything about South Africa that we know. Like it's mainstream. Yeah. South Africa is just super mainstream, and everybody should know, right? And I'm like, most people don't know about South Africa from our perspective. And then you guys get lumped up with Africa. And then I already know what we have experienced in our time coming up. I mean, I was born in 1969. And from that point on, I know what they've been telling us before I got here. So maybe explain to people, like, what do I'm going to use the narrative that they keep pushing to African Americans about Africa to include South Africa. There you go. What do you think?
The narrative that they push about Africa, the continent as a whole, is it's not necessarily a positive one. So that's why you have to go see for yourself. The other problem is education system is not as good as everyone thinks it is. There are a lot of people here that do not realize Africa is not one country.
To this day.
That's a scary thing, but it's like Africa. It's like one whole big plot of land, and
everything is backwards. And like I said, it's just living, huts, and it's just, you're going in safari, and that's their concept of Africa.
Yeah, pretty much.
And not even that, like, given there's so many different countries, that each country, even within South Africa, like I said, Johannesburg is, kind of completely different than like Cape Town. It's like each country has its own kind of history and this and that. So that's what it was impressive to me. Like even going to the two areas, and like just learning about South African history itself, and all the things that have gone there, which haven't even been that long ago. I mean, I'm like going to Robben Island and Cape Town, and like the prisoners that used to be there are the ones giving the tours. It's like this was like they had. I was like, oh, that was like you had to live this experience, and now you every day have to like retell, you know, the traumatic story like every day. I mean, this is not that long ago that things that, you know, happened there. So that they're still evolving and they have their own, every country has their own issues. But South Africa is different than, you know, Sierra Leone. It's different than Kenya. It's different than Botswana. You know, so it's why, and as big of a country, as big of a continent that it is, all the different countries there, I don't think America appreciates all the nuances and the different countries and cultures and you know, different like tribes of people and their histories. Each country has their own experience and also their own kind of history. And so that's the rest of like, we want to like be able to experience and go and learn about other different places. Not everything is just what the impression that we get in America.
So it sounds like you don't have to go outside your normal bubble in life to learn about the UK at all. Because you get taught that in school, you see on TV. I mean, it's just there. And when you get there, it's like, oh yeah, I recognize this. But how many opportunities do you get to see in your normal way of life, South Africa?
None. None. If you don't actively seek out information about the country of South Africa, you will only get bits and pieces that they want to show you. And most of those bits and pieces are not favorable to South Africa, because if everyone here, if African Americans here knew the truth behind South Africa, there would be probably, I don't want to say the bad word, there would be ships going the other way. Not, except we riding up top this time. But but that's just not just, it's not just Africa, it's everywhere. The United States education is geared towards making us believe that the United States is the best place in the entire world. And when you start going outside of that norm and start experiencing other locations, other places, you realize, wait, yeah, we're pretty cool, but they got some other cool stuff other places too. It's not as bad as, you know, we make it out to be. But I
just feel particularly at Africa in general. That Africa is especially is just minimal and minimal information, and what you do get is huge.
Yeah.
And it's getting like, to me, even worse than so like learning history, even in world history. It's like most of Africa is like it's like Africa barely existed, other than just the British and the Dutch and French, everyone rating it, but as income, because it was in their mind just native bush people running around everywhere. They don't really give you that's the only aspect that you get of Africa in the context of the world history or development. There's definitely a skew, to me, especially with the African continent.
For short term, we're coming there because we just want to experience for ourselves the truth.
Educate ourselves.
Yeah. And again, so I'm glad you answered those questions. And maybe some people will see it and be like, oh yeah, I remember when Jermaine said this, and because they will remember everything you say. Believe me, I get people come up to me all the time. Remember that one video when you said, and they act like I remember, and I really don't, because I've done a lot of videos over the last, I don't know how long we had this YouTube channel. Many years, or they might try to quote somebody that was on one of our as a guest such as yourself and whatnot. So to end this, I want to know, from you guys, I used to ask this question a lot, and I'm gonna ask it again. What's the real South Africa to you?
The real South Africa to me is the opportunity to visit a country that I've never been to before and experience the culture,
Yeah,
the nature of the origin of where we come from. I don't know where I came from. No, none of us really know. But just experience the culture, the nature, the environment, the geographic area, the everything. So it's just a way of seeing for myself what the world is really made of.
Yeah, the real South Africa is it's not just this monolith, Africa on the map, and it's not just the safaris, right? But it's actually a real place with real people, variety of cultures, and richer, And one of the students said they have like 12 different languages, different tribes and that sort of stuff. So you really have to like experience it to appreciate the culture and stuff that's there. And then just in general, just enjoying the people and opening yourself up to explore other countries, other people's histories and that sort of stuff. And what you can learn from how they handle the situation. And again, even as a positivity people, after all they've gone through, whatever, how they can approach certain things. And then what you can take away from that, wherever you come from, to take that back with you. But I think just exposing yourself to that kind of cultural enrichment is probably the biggest gem to take away from there. But it's
Excellent.
not, it's not just the bush.
Yeah.
And understand, that, we have entire cities and things that, are run by people of color.
That is true. That is true.
It's a normal regular city. It's a great place to visit.
I attribute it to leave them alone and watch them shine. That's what's happening. It's shining right now. Well, to people that know. So
Yeah.
and I'm spreading the word. I don't want to spread too much because I want to get there before everybody.
He said, "I want to get there before everybody else."
Before everybody else does.
I get it.
It's funny you say that because so many people have told us, man, I would have never told nobody about that place once they've gotten here themselves.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what? I mean, this place is a big place. I think I believe in my heart, and I probably go to the grave with this, but I think there's a place for us here in South Africa. Not like we have our own this, our own that, but just to assimilate into the culture, and to assimilate in locations, and just assimilate. I know I remember when we brought Phil Scott here many years ago. It hadn't been that long ago, but brought him a couple of times, and he said, "Mark, we're not that different here in South Africa, in America. We got a similar struggle. We can actually chat with each other. We share a lot of the cultural things or the pop culture things. They listen to our music. We listen to their music. They love it's Sunday today. They love some R&B. They grew up on it. We call it rhythm and blues, soul music. They call it struggle music. It was struggle music. That was the music they listened to when things were really bad. And if you think about it, they're listening to Black Americans' music way back. When I say way back when, I'm only talking about the 90s.
Right.
The 80s, our music was killing it back then. Lil Keith Sweat, a little bit of, whatever. And that's what they listened to when they didn't have a lot to listen to. It was us Americans. So there's a spot here. We just need to understand that we all have a role. I mean, we all have skill sets. I have a skill set. Tasha has a skill set. I'm sure Jermaine has a skill set. I'm sure Sonja has a skill set. And we can bring that to bear, over time. Can't just show up and do it overnight. But over time, in time, it will happen. And it really just us telling our story, and it's really just coming on a visit. And now you guys are going to go out, believe it or not, and you're going to tell your story to other people that look like you and say, when I went to South Africa, this happened. And then I might get a call, hey, Jermaine told me that I need to book a tour with you guys, and then we will sort them out. And then now you guys can talk about your tours. Like, man, when we was in Cape Town, it was all that. When we was in Joburg, it was all that. But we just telling our story, and that's the best that we can do. So that's why we appreciate you guys coming on and sharing your story right along with the other people that come. because somebody's going to see this and they're going to be like, you know what? I think I'm going to go to South Africa. And they're coming here and they're, me and Tasha, we laugh because people come all different ways. And what I mean by that is, they do fly on the plane, but they come in their own different mindsets. And there are some people, I'm so-and-so, so-and-so. And then there's some people who are they're very holy. And then you got some who are just, well, because, my job, I'm the so-and-so, so-and-so, and everything in between, we get all of those. But in the end, by the third or fourth day, they have powered all the way down. And ask them, what do you do? Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah, pretty much.
In South Africa. And then these same people who came in, well, because I'm from Connecticut and we live over in so and so, they're at that airport texting us.
I'm not ready to go.
And they are very serious. Not everybody, but a good number of them are like, I'm really not ready to go.
That was us. Yeah. We didn't text it because we know there was nothing we could do, but that was us.
Yeah. I wouldn't have tried at the airport. It shut down. I was like, oh, sorry. I'm going to have to stay a few more days. I'll just let work.
Yeah, funny. They were like, oh, there's some turmoil going on in the Middle East. I'm like, that's a long way away from where we're going. But if they close everything down, oh well.
They don't have any jet fuel. You know what? I think it's going to have to stay another week.
And that would have been just fine by us.
Yeah. Would have been trying it all. No.
All right, guys. We really appreciate you having this chat with us. And probably get this content out so people can see it. So
thank you for a wonderful vacation and everything.
Yeah, thank you for everything you've done, all that you've created, and all that you're going to be doing. We will be we'll be repeat offenders, as you call them.
Yay, I love it.
Yeah,
I love it. I love it.
All right, guys. Appreciate it.
Right.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Bye.
So, guys, as you see, coming here as a tourist is really the gateway. There might be little, hey, I could do this, I could do that, and I get it. And coming on your own, I'm so happy that people just even make the thing of coming to South Africa. But if you want to come, as we've been saying for years, proper, we're here. We have a lot of resources that are at our disposal, and because we're part of tourism and we're not some offshoot company, and it's not just me and Tasha that are these are the faces that you see, but we know that what we need and what we want, and we have those in spades, and so we want you guys to book a tour, even if it's a 6-day tour to Johannesburg, because you got a few days off. Come through and make that 6 days what you call that word? Where it works for you. I mean, you're maximizing.
Yeah, I was gonna say maximizing.
Yeah. You got anything you want to add?
I always say the same thing. I just think you guys need, I think you guys need to visit. I mean, you listen to what the Perkins said, and everyone has their preconceived notions. And unfortunately, it doesn't really matter how many different people you hear the same information from. You heard them say it's better than what they thought it was. It was well put together. The trip was well organized. Those are things that we actually provide. Now, don't get me wrong. Nobody's perfect, but if you come and you understand that we've actually put the work in before you got here, you can actually relax. And I think that most of us deserve to travel that way. You don't travel 9,000+ miles to get here to try to figure anything out. You don't have that kind of time. So we maximize your time. We make it efficient. You have downtime. You eat good. You meet good people. And we do it so compactly and so efficiently that you obviously leave wanting more, which is why it's always so difficult to leave. So before you make any rash, emotional decisions to move to South Africa, please come visit first. Please go to our website, therealsouthafrica.com. Please look at our options. There's well over 22+ packages that you can fit in. If you don't have a full 10 days off, you can always come for a 6-day. There's so many options for you. So just go to the website and pick a package that fits you.
All right, guys. And we will see you in what we like to call sunny South Africa.
Don't just visit South Africa. Experience the real luxury of Johannesburg. Stop scrolling through generic travel deals. You deserve more than a standard tourist package. You deserve the real heartbeat of Africa, wrapped in 5-star comfort. At therealsouthafrica.com, we don't sell tickets, we curate lifestyle experiences. From exclusive culinary tours in Maboneng to VIP access in Sandton, we unlock the doors that standard travel agencies can't. Curated luxury, every itinerary hand-picked for safety, style, and authenticity. Zero stress, private drivers, 5-star accommodations, and 24/7 support. The authentic pulse. Experience the culture of Johannesburg without sacrificing your comfort. Availability for our VIP packages is limited. Secure your seat at the table. Discover your luxury package.
Welcome to the Real South Africa Travel and Tourism. We have amazing packages to South Africa. And of course, this is Johannesburg, one of the most vibrant cities in the world. And of course, you can experience some great nightlife, some great food, some great hotels. And of course, we have a 6, 10, and 13-day packages that we have fully vetted on our website. And then of course, you will leave Johannesburg and possibly go to Durban. 6, 10, and 13-day packages there as well. It's the Indian Ocean. It's amazing and warm. And then, of course, Cape Town, one of the most vibrant cities in all of Africa and possibly the world. So all this is available for you. And then, of course, we have safari packages as well, which you could enjoy. You can't leave South Africa without going on safari.
Home, a tale of discovery with the real South Africa. For years, Marcus and Nia had talked about the trip. It wasn't just a vacation, it was a pilgrimage. They wanted to see the motherland, to feel the rhythm of the drums, and to stand on the soil of their ancestors. But every time they sat down to plan their first trip to South Africa, the logistics felt overwhelming. Safety concerns, transport logistics, and the fear of getting a tourist trap experience paralyzed them. They didn't want a generic bus tour. They wanted authenticity. They wanted luxury. They wanted to feel safe. That's when Nia found the Real South Africa Travel and Tourism, The Decision. It says here they specialize in luxury packages and handle everything from the moment you land. Real people, real experiences, boots on the ground. Marcus was skeptical, but one consultation call changed everything. The team at the Real South Africa didn't just sell them a package. They listened to their anxieties and promised a seamless experience. They booked the signature luxury tour, The Arrival. Touching down at OR Tambo International Airport in Johannesburg, the fatigue of the long flight vanished the moment they cleared customs. The professional airport representative from the media pool holding the welcome sign, with Marcus and Nia approaching with their luggage. The lighting is bright and welcoming, with the Welcome Home branding clearly visible. There, holding a sign with their names, was a representative from the Real South Africa. Professional, warm, and welcoming. "Welcome home," he said, taking their bags. Montage of the sleek SUV transfer and arrival at a 5-star hotel in Sandton. The lighting emphasizes luxury and comfort, with golden hour light reflecting off the hotel's glass facade and panoramic city views. From that moment, Marcus realized he didn't have to worry about a thing. The private transfer was a sleek, air-conditioned SUV. Their hotel in Sandton wasn't just a place to sleep, it was a 5-star sanctuary, with panoramic views of the richest square mile in Africa. The experience. The next 10 days were a blur of magic, curated perfectly by the Real South Africa. Johannesburg and Soweto. They didn't just drive past Vilakazi Street, they walked it. Their guide, a local with deep knowledge, introduced them to the history of Nelson Mandela and Desmond Tutu. They ate authentic cuisine at a local restaurant, laughing with locals, feeling the vibrant energy of the township, completely safe and entirely embraced. The luxury safari lodge set up from the media pool, followed by dramatic wildlife footage. A majestic lioness walks close to their vehicle. The lighting transitions from golden savanna light to the warm, intimate lighting of the luxury lodge at night. The safari. Then came the bush. The company had arranged a private game drive at a luxury lodge. Seeing a lioness walk past their vehicle, close enough to hear her breath, brought tears to Nia's eyes. It was raw and majestic, yet they returned to a lodge with high thread count sheets and gourmet dining. Spectacular shots of Table Mountain from the media pool, with Marcus and Nia standing at the summit. The lighting captures the dramatic collision of oceans with golden hour and blue hour tones. Wine country scenes with world-class vineyards complete the sequence. Cape Town. The transition to the Cape was flawless. Standing atop Table Mountain, looking out over the collision of the oceans, Marcus turned to Nia. I never imagined it would be this beautiful. They visited the winelands, tasted world-class pinotage, and learned about the complex history of the region, the transformation. On their final night, enjoying a sunset dinner overlooking the Atlantic, the couple reflected on the journey. I was so scared of the unknown, Nia admitted, but the real South Africa made the unknown feel like home. They realized that the value wasn't just in the hotels or the flights. It was in the peace of mind. They had experienced the soul of the country without the stress of planning it. They came as tourists, but they were leaving as family. As they boarded the plane back to the States, Marcus pulled out his phone. What are you doing? Nia asked. Writing a review, Marcus smiled. And looking at dates for next year. We have to bring the whole family. Ready to experience the magic for yourself? Don't let the logistics keep you from the journey of a lifetime. Book with the Real South Africa Travel and Tourism today, where luxury meets authenticity. Welcome.
Everybody, this is Mark Blanton, and this is
Dr. Latasha Blanton from the Real South Africa Travel and Tourism.
and we have amazing packages to Johannesburg, Cape Town, and Durban. So we would like to see you guys here. All you have to do is just go to our website, therealsouthafrica.com, and we'll make sure that your trip here is amazing.
See you here in sunny South Africa.
to the Real South Africa Immersion Experience. This trip or experience is for those that are highly interested in experiencing everyday life and everyday lifestyles available here in South Africa. Others have chosen this program and have decided that it was one of the best decisions they've ever made. Why did they say that? Because they had time to actually enjoy South Africa, enjoy the weather, enjoy the people, enjoy the food. They had time to explore, meaning that they weren't rushed to do anything. They had time to shop at their leisure, eat at their leisure, learn about banking, learn about investments, all while here on their own time. This program is designed for those that are seriously considering the opportunities here in South Africa and understanding that spending time in a country is exactly the way you get to learn it. So to find out more about these immersion experiences, please visit our website, therealsouthafrica.com, and we look forward to having you here in the immersion program in sunny South Africa.
All right, guys, this is Mark Edward Blanton from the Real South Africa. And guess what? Our visa services is back. We're going to be helping you guys with visas because we all know that it can be problematic to get a visa here in the Republic of South Africa. So what we have done, we partnered with a big company that will assist us, and we've checked them out. We recommend that their services are very, very proper. Of course, we go with proper here in the Republic of South Africa, and they can assist you. So if you have questions about, do I qualify for a visa? Then that's when we have our consult. You get a consult with these guys. They will literally go through everything with you. And my expectations is for you to ask all the questions that you need to ask so you will know exactly which way to proceed. So they work in every arena of immigrations. So it would definitely help us who are looking to migrate to the Republic of South Africa. And all I can say is first, come on a trip, of course. And once you come on a trip, then you will be motivated to do all the work that needs to happen for you guys to come to South Africa properly. So all I can say is this is a great team. This is a great situation. All I can say is, again, reach out to us at outreach@therealsouthafrica.com. We will respond to you, and then you'll get an email, and then the process has began. Okay, so we will see you guys here properly in sunny South Africa.
Thank you so much for spending time with us today. If you like what you saw, please subscribe and don't forget to hit the notifications button so you don't miss out on all things The Real South Africa. Thanks again.